Well, good morning. I haven't done an update for a while because I was putting all the stuff in the beds, but look at how good things are going. I have, oh my gosh, so many things. All right, let's start with this. This is the calendula, and I'm, I'm gonna have some seeds out of that one. That's great. We got some peppers here. We've got some Swiss chard. Um, my yarrow. If you remember from my earlier videos, those were all in trays. And let's take a look at that one over there. First of all, look at the bees. They're just like hanging out in there. That's so cool. So this here was the buttercup squash. This was the first bed that I did. Check it out. And there's a buttercup squash right there. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. And yes, it is getting overgrown already. Of course, I've been putting the banana water, my Epsom salts, that sort of thing. So let's see what we got here. We have the coxcomb. We have the strawberry spinach that I got from hi Birdie, what is going on? What's going on, ma'am? I must be near a nest. And then of course we have my dog over there. Let's see what's happening. All right, that was interesting. I think my dog was near a birdhouse or a bird nest, so she was freaking out. She was like, "Get him away from me! Get her away!" But anyway, so here is some. These are gherkin, little Mexican gherkin cucumbers. So this will take over my fence. This will completely take over the fence. I cannot wait. Here's some more calendula. And then let's look over here. I have a nasturtium flower, so that's cool. These are the butterfly peas. There is the chamomile, and this is going crazy. I just put some corn in there in this little area. Oh, this box is great. Let's leave that in the road. Oh, let me get it out of here. It's not going to look like Pinterest if I have boxes everywhere. So anyway, here's these. I'm growing these for seeds now. I'm just going to let them go to seed and I'll collect them all. And then right here we have the toothache plant, and the echinacea is doing pretty good. And then right here is the Gumprenza. Look at how pretty those are. So pretty. All right, and then let's go into the greenhouse and I'll show you what that looks like. Oh, look here. This is the huckleberries. Doing great. All right, let's go in the greenhouse and I'll show you what's in there. All right, so these are the greenhouses, and look, they're empty except for the plants that I'm letting go to seed. So I'm just letting these guys crisp up. I'll put them, whoop, there goes some more seeds. Hey, I just planted those. Sweet. Anyway, so I'll put those, get them in a thing that I can collect the seeds out of. But mostly everything is gone. It's all outside. So yes, and this is all outside. Look, we even have trash. Nice. Okay, so let's go out and I'll show you the rest of one of the other beds. Actually, I have two areas, but let me show you this one. This is where the tomatoes. But first, look, grapes. We have grapes. Those are still doing okay. I'll probably put those in the ground here sometime this weekend. I don't know, maybe next weekend. Who knows? Here's some. Okay, so these were $7.99 a couple years ago, and since I have a horrible actual dirt usually, I just put stuff in, like use these as raised beds kind of, so that's why you'll see those everywhere. This is a mallow, and I transplanted this, and there's another one over there, but I took them out, cut the the roots down. I'm dehydrating some of the roots. I replanted them because I like to put that in tea. It's really good for all kinds of things. You'll have to Google it. I don't want to say, but usually I use it for like acid reflux stuff. So there's that. And check out this catnip. It is ridiculous. But look at how full it is with bees. Oh my goodness. Love that. This is a weed. We'll get you out of here. Pulls right out. Then this is more calendula. This actually came back from last year. And I have some mint right here. And I have some lemon balm. This is doing really good. I've been cutting it back and using it in teas and stuff. There's some oregano. I'll have to get that. And yes, a plastic bag that we used for dirt. That's nice. I'll get that picked up here in just a second. Okay, so this is the first tier of the, well, actually, I guess it'd be the second tier because the one I showed you just a minute ago, that's the first tier. So here's the second part. But these are all tomatoes that were in the greenhouse. So we put those here. This was a raised bed in this space. You can see the bricks here that you used. It's similar to that, the same thing. But this was filled with mint. So when you see people say, watch your mint, oh yeah, it was ridiculous. I had to take this whole thing apart. That's the tree that I did not want cut down, but my husband did anyway. So we have the branches in water. Hopefully it will survive. I can make other trees and plant them somewhere. These are my pumpkins. These are more tomatoes. They're doing pretty good. Now these are old inside either a washer or a dryer. And I noticed when my husband was taking these apart, I was like, hey, those drums look like they could be cool raised beds. So yeah, it's like white trash, but I don't care. I needed dirt. I needed a place to put stuff. So there's that. This is just an old fence that I used for a trellis. So in here I have some Swiss chard. This is this borage? And this is a cucumber. So, and then over here, this is encamparte, and I don't know how to say it. It's those great big yellow flowers. And more cucumbers. This is alfalfa because why not? Let's see over here. This is the fenugreek. I just put it in here to see what it would do. I've never grown this before, but I'm guessing that the little seeds come out of this guy. This is Malabar spinach. It's going to grow up here. Of course, I have a zinnia. This is the calendula. Over here, we have marjoram. Some little watermelon that actually came out of a watermelon that I ate. And then these are more cucumbers. And we have more, these are a strawberry watermelon. Of course, I got them from Baker Creek. This is the horehound, so it's doing pretty good. This is some thyme, and I'm not sure what this was, so I just let it grow, but it looks like it might be amaranth, maybe? I don't know. Okay, so here's some more tomatoes, and yes, I do know that these are too close together, but I'll show you another area where I'm going to dig some of these up and put over there. I just needed to get them in the ground. Here's the lavender and some other things that were in the greenhouse. Some more tomatoes. This is some holy basil there. I put the lavender here so it would grow because it was, if you remember from my earlier videos, it was just in a container. And then over here we have these. These are tomatillos, more peppers, oregano, thyme. I just put those little peppers in there. And that bird, he's like, get out of here. don't know what the heck. Okay, so over here I have peppers and squash and beans and more cucumbers. These are Armenian cucumbers, my favorite. So those will go growing up on that thing. And that's a tree that we cut down because it was dying. So we cut it down, but then he planted that maple, which was a seedling that showed up in the yard. So we dug it up and put it there. More coxcomb. And these are the Hungarian. Oh, look, I have a pepper. See how pretty? It's purple. Like that. Okay, one more bed over here where that little wild bird is yelling at me. Okay, okay. And so here we have more beans, marigold. This is some more red clover. Got some bug damage. Oh my goodness. Somebody loves this. Probably a caterpillar. I don't know what this is, so I just planted it. We'll see if it turns out to be anything. This is Prunella vulgaris. And then see, look at this laying here. Guess what my quail like to do? Pull the tags out. So if you see little tags everywhere, that's because the quail got in here and took the tags out. So, okay, bird, okay. Enough. Oh my goodness. But there's Mila. She's like, I just want to see what that bird's doing. And then you can see my chickens over here, which we will go see in 2 seconds. Okay, so over here is another part of the yard. We've never used this for gardening, but I put some tomatoes in here, so they seem to be doing okay. They've got some new growth on them, so that's good. But you can see I've got a rabbit or something, and he's eating those, or I don't know. It's probably a rabbit. So yeah, so those will be more tomatoes. And then I will walk you over to see the third and final part of the gardening. All right, so this third part, my whole yard is a mess, okay? So I know it doesn't look picture perfect, but it's mine. You know, we have an acre out here. We've been working on it for almost 30 years. So let's walk in here. This is the area where we have my chickens. We had to put Blue in a separate area because he was becoming a little aggressive with the ladies. So we needed to give him a little time out. But let me show you this. These are lilacs that I planted 30 years ago. And this whole area is surrounded by lilacs. So we'll walk past this. Here's my chicken coop. And by the way, my husband built this chicken coop. He just completely built it out of his brain. He didn't have a plan. He just did it. Hi, ladies. Hi, my girlies. Okay, so as you can see when we look around, there is a wall of lilacs. Let me see if I can get a better picture. Okay, and look how tall these are. They are so big. And yes, another tree has been demolished. So that's lilacs. And over here is more lilacs. So all of this was the desert when we first moved in. All of it. And so we have lilacs around this whole area. But these are the first, before we put the other 2 garden areas in, this was where I had my raised beds. We replaced those last year because they were wooden with these that I found off of Amazon. And they were actually pretty cheap. So we've got these guys now. And so I just have been putting things in here like in like random places. And I apologize for the bags. I didn't realize that they blew around. We had a lot of wind yesterday. So that's my wind damage. But I will get those picked up. And here we have zinnias. I put my cabbage in here. Mother's wort there. Some broccoli. I mean, literally, I've just been putting stuff in other places because it's okay. It's my garden. If it wants to be random, then it's going to be random. More Swiss chard here, right there, and squash. And I'm starting to get little squashes. There's a yellow squash right there. Finally, I have a little yellow squash. I'm so excited. Oh, except it might not live. I just saw that the end of it looked funky. So this is it. There's more of my lilacs. I'm going to show you something over here. It's a mess because it's overgrown with grass. But this is called the Labyrinth. And it was gorgeous. And now it's not. So we got to get the grass out of there. But all of this is surrounded by lilacs. And let's just take a moment and look at these beautiful birds. Pretty ladies. All right, well, thank you for hanging out with me for my tour. My yard is a terrible mess, I know, but we're getting there. And when the wind comes, it blows everything around, so there's trash and stuff I have to get picked up, but I'll hopefully get that today. Huh, ladies? Huh, my ladies? All right, thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great July 5th, and we'll see ya next time.